All right, we are back with the University of Arizona here, right after ASU just presented. So the rivalry is in full effect right now. U of A is going to try and one-up the ASU
Feeling pretty
presentation.
pumped.
Yeah,
Feeling pretty pumped.
we've got Justin Vanderwall from the University of Arizona, and he's going to give you guys as much information as possible here in the next 30 minutes so you can make the informed decision that you need to when you're going ahead and pursuing your degree at the next level. So, Justin.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Justin Vanderwall. I'm an admissions counselor with the University of Arizona. I went to the U of A, graduated a few years ago. I won't say how many years. But I have been working in admissions for the last 3 years, so really excited to kind of share a bit more about U of A, talk a bit about some of the programs that we're known for, and help you with any questions you have.
All right, perfect. So without further ado, we'll jump into the presentation here. Students, again, make sure you're presenting all of your questions that you might have for Justin, for the University of Arizona, and all the presenters through our social media channels. We have messages coming through on Facebook every presentation. We have messages on Instagram. Send us some snaps, send us some messages on Twitter, whatever you can think of to get those questions to us. We want to get them answered as fast as possible, so make sure you are getting those submitted through all of Primavera's social media channels. All right, and here we go into the presentation from the University of Arizona.
Great. So this first picture that you'll see is a picaresque view of the Tucson skyline. No. University of Arizona is Arizona's first university. We were founded in 1885. For you history buffs out there, that means we were actually founded before Arizona was a state, which means we have a lot of history and traditions that we take a lot of pride in here at U of A. U of A is also Arizona's land-grant university. So on top of having the mission to provide education for students, we also have an imperative to provide educational outreach throughout the entire state of Arizona, which means we have a lot of partnerships with pretty much every county in Arizona, and that opens up a lot of doors for our students, and I'll be sure to kind of touch on that in a bit. This is kind of a picture of campus. U of A is located in the center of Tucson. We're about a mile on all sides, so it takes about 15 minutes to walk from one end to the other. And that means everything you need as a student is within that square mile. So your dorms, your student union where we have all of our restaurants, all of your classes. It's really easy to kind of navigate campus. Ride around on your bike, your skateboard, ripstick, hoverboard, whatever you kids are riding nowadays. It's really just a campus that's conducive to meeting new people. U of A is also located in Tucson, and that means it's kind of the best of both worlds in a couple different ways. So for the first reason, it's not in your backyard, so you'll still get kind of that nice, independent, out-of-state kind of feel. It's about hour 40 minutes, hour 30 minutes drive down south, depending on how legally you drive. And it's definitely good that it has that independent feel, because you won't have your parents knocking on your door every morning to make sure you're going to class, but it's close enough that if you miss your dog on the weekends or if you want to get free laundry done, it's a quick drive back up north. Tucson is also just a really kind of vibrant community. It has tons of artistic outlets for you to explore. We have things like First Fridays. We have local theater, film organizations, local musical organizations, symphonies, orchestras, choirs, all kinds of things to get involved in. And Tucson is also a mini foodie capital. So we're known for the 25 miles of best Mexican food in the U.S., which is basically a 25-mile loop around town with the best tortas and frijoles that you'll ever eat. Definitely a really great spot to spend 4 years.
There you go. So if you guys are looking for that foodie mentality, that's the option right there.
Yep, that's it. So this is us at a glance. U of A is a public research university. We have about 43,000 total students. 33,000 of those are undergrads and 10,000 graduate and professional students. But we still try to keep things as small as we can. We have a 22-to-1 student-faculty ratio. About 70% of our classes have less than 30 students. We are very, very much an open campus. We have 23 different residence halls, lots of kind of ways to customize your experience at the U of A. We're also well known for our academics at the University of Arizona. We have a lot of programs that are highly ranked among U.S. News and World Report, Forbes, all of that. Probably some of the best kind of monikers that we have. We are a member of the American Association of Universities, so we are one of 62 top research universities that have grouped together to kind of really promote research within higher education. We also are a public Ivy, which means we are an institution that provides an Ivy League level of education at a public level of affordability. And that's definitely something that we strive to attain each and every year. Research is a really core part of our mission at U of A. So we are definitely a university that thrives on kind of providing students and connecting students with out-of-classroom opportunities, and research is a really great way to kind of explore that. Some of the cool things that we're involved with right now, we just launched a partnership with Uber to work on self-driving cars. We're working with some of our health researchers on battling the Zika virus. We're about 2 weeks into a mission to collect samples from an asteroid, so we've already launched the ship, and it's on its way to intercept an asteroid within about 7 years. So there's lots of really cool ways to get involved within the field of research. We spend about $600 million a year on research as well, so it really just opens up a lot of doors for our students. So Wildcat for life. What this means is that the U of A is really committed to your success. When we admit a student as a freshman, we're not just wanting to kind of, say good luck and give them the boot in their freshman year. We want to make sure that a student that comes to U of A graduates and then moves on to a career. So because of that, we have a lot of student support services that we utilize at the U of A. So we have different resources like career services. We have a dedicated career services team that connects students with different career fairs that we host on campus. We bring in hundreds of employers from across the nation just to recruit U of A students. We have an alumni force of 250,000 alumni nationwide, which definitely opens up a lot of doors. If you're wanting to go into film and television, we have alumni in the industry. If you're wanting to go into marketing, we have alumni in Chicago. It's a really great kind of community that you'll get access to as a Wildcat for life. We have other resources that are academically focused as well. So we have our think tank, our student tutoring service that is free for students. We also have our SALT Center, our Strategic Alternative Learning Technique Center for students with attention or learning differences. And then we're just well known for kind of providing that support for students. We have a 100% student engagement initiative, which means all of our students before they graduate will have some sort of outside experience, outside the classroom experience. That can be a research project with faculty, that can be a summer internship or a job that they took with their dream company. Whatever it is, it's something that will be noted on their transcript and that will definitely make it really nice to show to a prospective employer or to a prospective graduate program when they leave the U of A. So at U of A, we have a lot of different programs to choose from. We have over 100 different bachelor's programs and about 300 total programs, including undergrad and postgrad. Some of the programs that we're most well known for, anything in the health professions. We are Arizona's only 2 public medical schools. We also have a fantastic College of Nursing, College of Public Health, Biomedical Engineering, Biosystems Engineering. Definitely a lot of ways to kind of structure your health professions education or your path to medical school. We are also a top 10 undergraduate public school of business. For management information systems, I think we're number 3 in the nation this year, and for entrepreneurship, we just jumped into the top spot. It's definitely a program that really thrives on kind of connecting students with those off-campus opportunities, internships. We have a full-time professional development center just for our Eller students, which is really great when our students are wanting to have a strong foot to put forward when they graduate. We also have, probably rounding out the top 5, a fantastic psychology program which offers both psychology and psychological sciences, a College of Engineering that has 14 different majors to choose from, and it's a smaller college on U of A's campus, so it's a 15-to-1 student-faculty ratio, really kind of promotes both hands-on learning as well as interaction with professors to really make sure that they're getting kind of that intensive engineering education. We're also #1 in the nation for astronomy and planetary and environmental science research. It's live. So it's definitely one of our programs that we really put a lot of focus into. Branch out. This is where we talk about all of the trees on campus. So getting involved, branching out is the pun there. Anyway, so getting involved. We have over 600 clubs and organizations to choose from at U of A, ranging from pretty much anything. We have academic clubs, social clubs, professional, religious, cultural clubs. We have an active Greek life. About 14% of our students are involved with Greek life. We have both traditional philanthropy-oriented fraternities and sororities, as well as academic, professional, and cultural fraternities and sororities as well. We have club and intramural sports, so we have both, competitive club volleyball or competitive club soccer, as well as intramural inner tube water polo team. Lots of different options to get involved. Within our clubs and organizations, we have a lot of different ways to kind of start getting experience before you graduate. So some of our professional organizations, like the Professional Association into Nursing, or PAIN Club, kind of an ironic name, but they are really about kind of finding those development opportunities for students and kind of connecting them with, different video series or conferences or things that are going on that will help them out in their future. We're also NCAA Division I Pac-12, so we have the big sports. For most people know us for basketball, March Madness. We're known for busting quite a few brackets, especially last year. And then we are really well known for our Zona Zoo. So our Zona Zoo is our student cheering section. It's about you and maybe 10,000 other students on football game days, maybe 5,000 on basketball game days, but you're screaming your lungs out. It's a sea of red and blue. You lose your voice for about a week and a half after each home game. It's just a really fantastic way to kind of get connected with the Wildcat community and experience that bear down spirit.
And it seems like a lot of, traditionally, a lot of the camaraderie comes through that
Yes.
joining together for the sports programs around campus. So
Yeah, absolutely.
The evolution of Arizona sports has kept all those kids together.
Right. Another really great way to get involved, studying abroad. We send students to about 60 different countries every year, and we have over 180 programs to choose from. Studying abroad at U of A can really take a variety of forms. It's really easy to customize your experience to your own preference. So we have programs that are major specific, like our creative writing program in Orvieto, Italy. We have programs like our engineering destination program in Munich, Germany. Then we also have general education programs. So if you just really want to see Barcelona or get Thai food in an actual restaurant in Thailand, it's something to where you can really customize your experience. We have programs that run for 6 to 8 weeks, usually over the summer. We have programs that run for a semester and programs that go for an entire academic year. So again, if you're looking to study abroad, there are lots of ways to do it at U of A. Probably the best way to get involved, though, living on campus. We don't require our students to live on campus. We definitely recommend it. About 70% of our students do. And living on campus is really one of the best ways that we find students are able to get connected with different opportunities. So students often that live on campus have higher GPAs, usually about 10% higher. But the big stat that I just learned actually this past year, students that live on campus are 50% more likely to graduate within 4 years, which is definitely huge if you're looking to stick to the 4-year plan, get out into career field. Living on campus is really one of the best ways to do it. It's also one of the best ways to make lifelong friends. I've a lot of the friends that I made in the dorms are still friends to this day. I've been in several weddings just because I met them from living on the same hall. So it's definitely a really great community to be a part of, and a really great way to kind of establish your foundation at your college of choice. Really, wherever you go, I recommend living on campus. So we talked a bit about the appetizers, but the meat and potatoes is the application. So for you seniors, we have a 3-in-1 application. Everything essentially goes through our main admissions website, so arizona.edu/apply. And it's a fairly straightforward application. We do self-report, so students, you really only need to have your unofficial transcript, and then you'll just self-report all of your coursework from freshman to junior year, and then you'll also report your in-progress coursework for your senior year. Then from there, you'll either pay the application fee or submit an application fee waiver, and then you're done. We are a test optional school for admission, so you don't need to send in ACT or SAT scores to be considered for admission to U of A, but we highly recommend you send those in. That's how you're considered for our top levels of merit scholarship, as well as the Honors College. Along with that, we do a really comprehensive review for admission for every student that applies to U of A. So we look at your unweighted core GPA, we take a look at the difficulty of your coursework, so if you're in any AP, IB, dual enrollment, anything like that. Then we also take a look at extracurriculars, if you're involved with clubs, leadership experience, if you have a part-time job at Sonic, anything that shows that you're involved above and beyond the classroom is always really great to have on an application because it shows you're a really well-rounded student. The application, the 3-in-1 portion, basically means that you're considered for admission to U of A, merit scholarships, and our Honors College through that one application. For the Honors College, there is a supplemental essay, an honors essay. So if you check the box that says you're interested in honors, that'll pop up. And then we also have an optional personal statement at the end of the application. So if you have any additional information that we might not necessarily be able to read from your initial app, the personal statement's a great way to kind of get that across. Real people review every single U of A application, so it's definitely a great way to kind of give us a fuller picture of you. The Honors College that I mentioned is a really great opportunity for our students that want to kind of challenge themselves academically at the collegiate level. So the Honors College definitely opens up a lot of doors for our students. There are Honors College internships, study abroad opportunities, research projects available. We have students that are connected with different honors success coaches. So if your plan is to go on to grad school or medical school, there'll be kind of an extra layer of support to help guide you along that path. We also have 2 honors residence halls, which are available for our honors students. Honor students aren't restricted to live only in those halls, but it is an option available to them. And then we also have different perks like priority registration for our honor students. So they have prime selection as far as class days and times. Those numbers that are listed on this slide, those aren't minimums by any means. Those are kind of averages of what the incoming honors student looked like last year. But they're certainly good numbers to strive for if you're wanting to apply for honors. That'll give you kind of a good idea of the numbers to reach for. So we have a lot of ways to help kind of fund your U of A education. We have merit scholarships that we offer based on your academics. Again, that's part of the 3-in-1 application. Our merit scholarships run between $2,000 up to $12,000 per year, renewable over 4 years. And they're based completely on academics. So we'll just be looking at that unweighted core GPA and then either your SAT or ACT score. We don't have a preference, by the way, between SAT or ACT. It's really up to you, but typically we'll always use the best score for your merit scholarship review. So we don't super score, but we'll use the best score from one test date.
So the recommendation then would just be take them both. See,
right.
You might do better on one than you do on the other, so take them both, see what happens. And
yeah, absolutely. And one thing, there are practice tests available for both online as well. So you can take the practice tests online, kind of get a sense of which format you're more comfortable with, and typically that's the one that you'll do better on when you actually take the test. So
awesome.
That's usually my recommendation. Scholarship Universe is a really great service for our admitted students. So in your senior year, once you're admitted to U of A, you get access. Essentially, it's like Match.com for scholarships. Students will put in kind of a long personal questionnaire, but once they fill in that information, it pulls up a list of scholarships that you specifically fit the criteria for. So if there are any scholarships available for your major, any scholarships available for a specific interest you have. If you are from the Phoenix area, we have alumni groups that offer scholarships for that. So really it's just kind of to connect you with different U of A and third-party resources to help kind of start cutting down on that cost for education. Finally, we have guaranteed tuition and fees. So whatever your tuition and fees are when you come into U of A as a freshman, that rate is locked for 4 years. So you don't have to worry about any tuition increases. And it's definitely really helpful when it comes to the financial planning stage. You know exactly what you're going to get for 4 years. Other financial aid, so we do accept the FAFSA. The FAFSA actually just came out this month. Our priority date is actually all the way into March 1st. So you have 5 months to get your FAFSA done. There's no excuse. But really, if you're applying to any other school in Arizona, most of their priority dates are actually earlier than ours. So it's really easy to just put our name on the FAFSA sheet, and then we'll receive the FAFSA and be able to evaluate your financial aid from there.
Now with the FAFSA, if they get it in early, does U of A do first come, first serve money for FAFSA? So if you get it in beforehand, are you more likely to get more FAFSA money than if you do it last second, February 28th, all going up to March 1st?
Yeah, so March 1st is really that first come, first serve date.
Okay.
So any student that applies before March 1st will be evaluated for our institutional grants,
Okay.
which is additional funds on top of whatever they might be eligible for Pell Grant. So
Awesome.
really just encouraging them to complete the FAFSA before March 1st.
All right.
Yeah. We also have an Arizona Insurance Program. This is an additional financial aid opportunity for students that demonstrate significant need based on the FAFSA. It offers an additional $2,000 on whatever you qualify for as far as financial aid, plus a $7,300 award your first year if you live on campus. And that's to cover kind of that on-campus housing cost and really just kind of support whatever you receive as far as a financial aid package. Then the net price calculator, that's something that we have on our website. That's really helpful if you're not a senior, if you're a junior or sophomore, if you want to kind of start that financial planning stage or at least get a guesstimate on what you might be wanting to prepare for as a senior. That'll help you see what kind of scholarship you might be eligible for at U of A, as well as any kind of financial aid that you might be eligible for as well. So visiting us. If there's one thing that I suggest over anything else to any student that I talk with, visiting a campus is really the best way to kind of get a sense if it will be a good fit for you. So I always encourage visit your top 3 at least schools that you're interested in. I'm biased. I went to U of A. I like to think U of A is a good fit for everyone, but you won't actually know until you step foot on the campus. Each campus has its own personality, its own atmosphere. So it's really easy to figure out if a campus is going to be a good fit for you right after stepping foot on it.
Awesome.
And then that's us. So if you have questions throughout the year, definitely always feel free to reach out. This is just our general admissions hotline, as it were. So we're always happy to help any students with questions. But I believe we have time for questions
we
now.
definitely have time for 4 or 5 questions. And again, students, just make sure you're getting this information down. Again, we will post it later next week with all the contact information, so you have it available to you. But best to just do it right now while you're viewing, so you have it on hand. You don't have to worry about relying on it later. So again, we'll give you a couple seconds to go ahead and copy this information down, and then we will jump into the Q&A session. And we've got a couple of good questions so far, so we will jump right into it.
Wonderful.
All right, so the first question we got is regarding campuses here in the Metro Phoenix area. So would students have to go down to Tucson for everything? Are there options available to them here in Phoenix where they could take courses here? What's the deal with
Yeah, no, great question. So we do have a biomedical campus in downtown Phoenix. That is primarily for graduate medical study, and also we have a business program that is open there. We do have an online program, UA Online, that offers fully online U of A degrees, and that is an option for students that might not be able to relocate or anything like that.
Okay, perfect.
Then it is a great program for them as well.
Right.
But all of our undergraduate programs, just through the University of Arizona itself, are in Tucson.
Okay, perfect. So again, you can go down to Tucson if you're doing a grad degree. You can come back up here to the Phoenix area, but there's also the online option with UA Online. So
Right.
now, if they go online to check out the degrees, are they able to see which ones are offered online?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So we have a website, degreesearch.arizona.edu.
Perfect.
That has a full list of our programs, and it'll note which ones are online and which ones aren't.
Awesome. And again, guys, just make sure if you're looking at a specific degree, check it out online, because the information is always going to be there so you can see what you're looking at. And again, like I said, the previous presentation, you might find a degree that you didn't even think was a degree option in a field that you're interested in, and all of a sudden you might have locked in what you want to study for the next 4 years. So make sure you check that out as soon as possible online. Next question. Being down in Tucson, is there a student shadowing option for students who are in high school up here who might want to go down to Tucson for a few days, check out a few classes, shadow someone in a field that they're interested in pursuing?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our class cats, which is essentially exactly that.
Okay.
Students will just want to reach out to our visit office, and if you go to arizona.edu/visit, that has all of those options. But class cats will be an opportunity to go to class with a current student and kind of get that experience.
Awesome. Okay. Now, the study abroad program that you mentioned, we heard a little bit about the one that ASU offers.
Okay.
Is there a minimum amount of time you have to have been on campus to go ahead and pursue that study abroad program? Can you do it, your second semester when you're in your freshman year? Do you have to be there for 2 years before you go ahead and study abroad? How does that whole system work?
Yeah, so study abroad is completely open for our students, so they're able to participate in study abroad immediately if they would like to. Usually we recommend students, kind of establish themselves on campus a bit first, so they can kind of learn the ropes and then go on to study abroad, but really it's an open program.
Okay, great. It looks like we have a question coming through right now from Instagram.
Okay.
So regarding your acceptance requirements, does general science count as a year of lab science? If not, will there be other electives that are accepted, such as environmental science or botany or zoology? Will any of those count for lab sciences?
Yeah, so typically the evaluation team down in Tucson will have a list of courses that are approved by the Board of Regents.
Okay.
And that's actually available on, I believe, ASU's website. The Board of Regents
Okay.
will show what courses are approved to count for those requirements. But we usually go by just the Board of Regents, qualification and call.
Okay, great. So they should definitely reach out and contact you guys, though, directly to see if they can substitute some of those classes in for lab science.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, question on Instagram, definitely reach out to U of A, make sure, double check, triple check that those classes that you mentioned will be accepted, so that you don't have to worry about picking up an extra class or taking something else. And I think that's the last question we had. So Jocelyn, thank you very much for attending and being here and giving us all that information. And again, students, if you have any other questions you might not have thought about right now, you might not have gotten to, still go ahead and submit them, and we can get those questions directly over to our presenters even after they've left. That way they can go ahead and reach back out to you guys with those answers. So again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, send us some snaps, whatever you want to do. Make sure you get those questions in. We'll get them over to them so you can get those answers as fast as possible. So again, Jocelyn, thank you very much for coming, University of Arizona. We've got next presenters coming up. We've got the East Valley Institute of Technology, and we've also got College Xing, which is a program designed to help assist you in getting all of your college paperwork and all of that sort of stuff done ahead of time. So again, stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with those next two presentations.